Hello, welcome back to you all in this new video. In this video, we are going to learn how to make a Rubik cube. So let's get started. So now we just have to delete all the default objects from the viewports and then just go to into this add option and then go into this mesh and then just add a Rubik cube. And then now what you have to do, just you have to bevel it. As I told you how to bevel, you just have to change the mode from here. For that, just let me enable screencast. Now you just have to go into this mode and change it to the edit mode. And now you have to select vertices and then press A on your keyboard to select all and then just press Ctrl B on your keyboard. And then increase the segments of it by scrolling on your mouse and then like this little bit like this. I want to do 4 segments and then you have to change your mode by edit mode into the object mode. You just can press tab on your keyboard like this and then you just have to right click on the viewport and then shed smooth. Yeah, this is looking very nice. Now what you have to do, you just have to move it on the y-axis a little bit and decrease it. Then you just have to duplicate it by control D, sorry, by shift D on your keyboard to duplicate any object and then press Y to snap it like this. Now I am going to snap during transform, uh, enable this key, snapping key, and then if I just duplicate it by shift D and then press Y on my keyboard, then it will be completely snapping. Sorry, I just want to snap it by self, not by. So now we just have to move it this bit and this like this. Yeah, it looking nice. Sorry, or I should move it this a bit more like this and this like this. Now what we have to do, just duplicate these default cubes, then select all by left click on your mouse and then just you have to press shift D on your keyboard to duplicate it and then just like this. Yeah, select these object. How can you select more than one object? If you select any object and then if you hold your shift to select another object, the both object will be selected. So now you just have to move these object a bit like this and then you have to shift D again to duplicate this object and like this you have to do like this. Now what you can do, I hope you are understanding my language. So now you have to select all these 9 cubes and then you just have to press shift D again to move it on the Z axis like this, and you have to move it on the Z axis like this, and still you have to select these 9 cubes and then again press shift D on your keyboard like this. Now you are able to see it's looking like a Rubik cube, a complete Rubik cube. Now what you can do, I want to suggest you, now we have to put some colors on it because without colors Rubik cube is nothing. And now what we have to do, to just you have to press shift A on your keyboard to add a plane. Now what plane can do, we just have to scale it a bit and then rotate it on the 90 degrees, sorry, rotate on the y-axis and then 90 degrees like this. And now you have to move this little bit and then you have to move it on the x-axis little bit. Now what you have to do, you just have to snap this plane into this Rubik cube. Now you have to just select this and move it on the x-axis and then scale it a bit like this and then move it like this. Now if you are unable to see the plane from here, you can select this and then you can move it and then you can move it any way you want like this. Now it's visible. We just have to set it like this. Now it's looking perfect. We can also bevel it by Control Shift D. Sorry, we are just duplicating it. Sorry, we can bevel it by Control B. No, by Control Shift B. If we have to bevel a plane, we can bevel it by Control Shift B, and then we can like this. Yeah, this looking perfect, fine. Now we can duplicate this. Sorry, before it was looking nice, but we have to bevel it a little bit, not a lot more, like this. Yeah, like this. Now it's looking fine. We just have to shed smooth this and then Shift D to duplicate on the y-axis like this. Move it a bit on the y-axis like this, and then Shift D again to move it on the y-axis like this. Now you have to select all these and Shift D and move it on the z-axis, and then press Shift D again to move it on the z-axis. Now, what would I suggest you to select this one plane and then row and hold your shift to select last plane, to select all these, and then press Alt D on your keyboard, and then press X on your keyboard to move it on the X axis like this, and then move it on the X axis again like this. But we still have to do one thing. We have to select from plane 9 to plane 17, and then we have to move it on the X-axis a little bit more like this. Yeah, now what we have to do, we just have to select from plane 9, plane 17, and then Shift D again and move it on the X-axis, and then we just have to rotate it on the Z-axis by 90 degree. If you press R and Z on your keyboard to move it on the Z-axis, and then press degrees numbers like 90, 70, 180 to move it on those degrees, and then we just have to move it on the y-axis like this, and then just have to arrange the settings of it like this. Now, sorry, we still have to select plane 18 to plane 26, and then move it on the z-axis like this. Yeah, it's looking nice, and then you have to Shift D again or Alt D again, and then move move on the y-axis like this. It's looking nice, smooth and rough. Now what we have to do, we have to Alt D and then move it on the Z axis, and then just move it on the Y axis, and then press R and Y, no, R and X, and then press what can I say, 180 degree? No, RH, and then press 90 degree. To move it on the X axis on 90 degree, then just move it on the Z axis like this. It's hidden now, and then we have to select from plane light, what can I say, plane 36 to 44, and then move it a bit like this on the Z axis like this, also on the Y axis like this. Yeah, it's really nice look, I would suggest. But then press Alt D again and then move it on the Z axis, and then move it on the Z axis a little bit more further like this, a little bit more. Now we can color our Rubik cube as we want it. Hope so. You understand till now. Now we just have to give materials to our object.